It's a nice venue because this time I'm going to introduce again the flora found in our coins as well as in banknotes. So my topic would be minted in nature, the secrets of Philippine currency. My name is Annalise Hadsal. I'm a retired associate professor from the University of the Philippines in Los Baños. At the same time, curator of Botanical Herbarium of the UPLB Museum of Natural History. So in this afternoon, this is what you're supposed to gain out of my topic. In between po, meron tayong short quiz. And whoever can answer it correctly, we have a gift. But not the gift that we bought here because that's too expensive. Okay, well, look at the general morphology of these plants found in coins as well as in banknotes. And then we look at the etymology and the nomenclature. Pag etymology, what is the meaning? For example, when you say Pterocarpus, what is the meaning of Pterocarpus? When you say Indicus, where is the specific epithet derived? So we're also talking of nomenclature. When you say nomenclature, that's the specific the species name. So we say Pterocarpus indicus, that's the nomenclature, the name. And it is the name of a species. And then we look at some cultural and economic significance. And the last will be looking at the conservation status. Okay. With me, I call this the indefatigables. No? If you know of K-pop, P-pops, sila po ang mga P-pops. These are Pinoy botanists in the making. And these are pictures that I have grabbed from their Facebook account, and this is how they are when they're in the field. Okay, may I call on the boy from Mindanao, Paul Alfonso Ondoy. Paul from Mindanao, and he's studying Philippine IELTS. And the other girl there is Chabelita Abigabil Jobs. Wave your hand, please. And Miss Venus Apakahin assisting me. And Karamian Digo from Mindanao also. Okay, next slide. Okay. Flora and Fauna series, 1983-1998. You have this coin. Anybody have the coin with this Cocos Lucifera? Wala po? Nasa bahay ka. Oh, sir. Mahirap kuhanin. Kung meron sana meron na tayong gift, ano? Okay. So this is now the dalawang piso coin. What you have there is Cocos Lucifera. And that would be, and on the other side would be Andres Bonifacio. Now, Cocos comes from the Greek word. The origin, etymology would be Portuguese and Spanish word. So origin is Portuguese and Spanish word. Coco means head or skull. And this because of, this is now the coconut. 1, 2, 3, it has 3, no? It has 3 grooves on the coconut shell. No? It looks like a head. That's why the word cocos in Portuguese or Spanish means a head or skull. And then Lucifera, okay, ibig sabihin ng Lucifera, nut bearing. So we say coconut. Now, Cocos Lucifera. Cocos from the head or skull. Lucifera is a Latin term meaning nut bearing. So, pag sinabi natin nut, it's something that is very hard. Okay, next slide. So we call it the tree of life. Bakit po tree of life? Anybody? It's audience participation. Oh, so we need one microphone. All-purpose flower, multi-purpose house, multi-purpose loan. Okay. Okay, sir. Bigyan natin. Because it serves so many uses. From the roots up to the topmost part. And even when you talk of yung latik, it's something that is actually, it's a waste. Nothing is actually a waste when you talk of coconut. Okay, so that's why it's called the tree of life. Okay, next slide. All right. So when you say coconut, what you see in this is now the young fruit, and this is the mature fruit, Venus. That's the mature fruit. Pwede ba? That's the mature fruit. And then you take away the wall, not the fruit wall, yung balat. And what is left now would be the seed. Ito po yung seed. So that's the whole fruit. When you see it's green, it's actually the young fruit. Then matures into brown. That's the mature fruit. Take away the husk, no? Yung outer part, that's the husk, which we make into a coconut husk. And then this part, the coconut shell is still a part of the fruit. So yung baon ng niyog ay part of the fruit. It's not part of the seed. So where is the seed of coconut? Okay, Venus, the seed of coconut, this is not the seed of coconut. Starting from the one that you grate, no? When you have to cook your bayan using coconut milk, yung gata. And that portion also that grows inside, what's the term there in Tagalog? Ano tawag nyo doon? Sa soft part na kinakain natin. Is there a term for that? Nakapulo?
Coconut flesh.
Ano
Coconut meat. Coconut meat.
The coconut meat is actually this portion. And the
Outer.
juice that comes out is the coconut
Juice.
water. So what about this one? This one is small, then it grows, and then it becomes the young coconut seedling. Coconut, the whole coconut seed, yes. But that part is called the cotyledon po. So that's the cotyledon. Okay. For those of you high school natin, we have a monocot, single cotyledon. There's a dicot, two cotyledons. But this one is a single cotyledon. We call it pastoral because it sucks, no? It sucks the coconut meat. Kita niyo ba, pag lumalaki yan, when you open your coconut, wala na yung coconut meat. Everything has been absorbed by the spongy pastoral cotyledon. And because the coconut is so popular, there's a song. May song that was...
The coconut nut. Smoky Mountain.
Yeah, you have, kaso hindi po natin mapiplay. We have the Smoky Mountain, yung group. Anybody who can sing that one? Sir, halika rito.
Ayun lang.
I hate yung opening line.
The coconut nut is a giant.
Okay, sir, pick your ano. Alright, next slide. Ano? Meron ano? Parang pala ako, sana may mga high school students dito, yung mga makain dyan sa inyo, pasok po kayo dito. But this is
Batang
very
isip.
educational.
Batang isip.
Now, we know that the coconut is not entirely in the Philippines kasi coconut would be distributed around the tropics in coastal areas, so an anti-tropic distribution. So it reaches one country from another country because these coconut fruits float in the water. Kaya yan ay not native to the Philippines but actually originated within the Pacific region. Okay, in 1970s, the Philippines is said to be the largest copra producing country. That was in the 1970s. I don't know, probably not anymore. Because some of these coconut plantations have been converted into another
Subdivision.
probably residential land, not into another agricultural farm, planted into another crop. Okay. So actually, when you talk of the coconut, it's a symbol of what we call self-sacrifice and resilience. Napaka-resilient din ng coconut. Bakit resilient? It's deeply rooted. And even strong typhoons, no? Very difficult for them to topple down. If you remember I think that's
Pito.
the one that happened several years back in Bande Aceh, and then you have this foreigner. He climbed up the coconut tree kasi may giant wave. That was a tsunami sometime December 10 or 15 years ago. Now, in celebration the Coconut Week, meron tayo we celebrate coconut, we have the Coconut Week, and there is a special agency dedicated for coconuts only. So we have the Philippine Coconut Authority. And we also have before children of coconut farmers, they were also given scholarships. The scholarships for, yes, children of coconut farmers. Okay, next slide. Anybody? Sino ang makakapagdala ng
Wala.
sino may 5 centimo? Sino may 5 centimo dito? Sino may 5 centimo? Sino mauna magdala ng 5 centimo? Wala? 1,
Nandun pa.
2, 3, wala pa? 5 centimo?
Naka-display.
Gone. Okay, in the 5 centimo, what we have now is Banda Sanderiana. Wali-wali or we call this Sanders Banda. Okay, recently, this Banda Sanderiana was declared as, sino mga kasagot? Sige ma'am.
National flower.
Okay, recently was declared as National Orchid. Okay, hindi po national flower. Ang national flower still is, yes, ang Pagitan. It was declared as the National Orchid. Okay. Yung meaning ng banda is a Sanskrit word that means air plants. Yung ibig sabihin ng banda. Before, yung Portuguese and Spanish word na coco. So isang ano yan, one etymology, either be from Spanish or Portuguese origin. But this time, banda is a Sanskrit language meaning air plants. And then yung Sanderiana, this is because it was named after Henry Friedrich Conrad Sander. Ito yung one who described the one who studied orchids, no? Kaya Sander. And when we name it after a person, you don't retain the last name, but somehow there is a rule in nomenclature. So it's Banda Sanderiana. Okay, next.
Bakit?
Yan. It's called Wali-Wali. Now, the common name Wali-Wali. Wali-Wali comes, it's an ethnic term used by the indigenous people of Mindanao. And Wali-Wali, in their term, in their dialect means a graceful movement of the butterfly and flight. Siyempre, pag tinignan nyo naman yung Wali-Wali na yan, ano? Parang, pag nahanginan, similar to a butterfly that is moving. It's also known as the Queen of the Philippine Forest, Queen of the Philippine Flowers, and only in the Philippines we have Banda Sanderiana. And mostly, this one would be found particularly in Davao, in the origin of Mount Apo. Now, with regards to conservation status, International Union of Conservation of Nature, this one is critically endangered. So, you cannot really take, export or bring this out of the Philippines because this is listed under CITES. Okay, next. Yan. Appendix 2. All orchids, the whole orchid family is listed in CITES. CITES refers to Convention of International Trade of Endangered Species. Okay? So it's critically endangered, and we know this is the tribe sa Mindanao that named it as Wali-Wali. And during the Cagayawan Festival, you have now the Wali-Wali as the queen of the Philippine flowers, and these are used in different types of clothes. Next. Yan. Ito na yung kanina. Okay. O sino merong singo dyan na luma? Wala din? Wala pong may singo? Okay, wala. Okay, so this is now the 5 piso. You have Pterocarpus ethicus. Locally known as Nara. Yung name na Pterocarpus. Ptero meaning Latinized ancient Greek word. Pteron meaning wing. carpos meaning fruit. So when you look at the fruit, okay, that's the fruit. Yan. Yan yung wings. Sige nga, Venus, this is the wings now. Yan yung third na wing. Yung whole fruit, yung tatawag ng carpos. It's a Latin term. Okay. Indicus, Pterocarpus, indicus, meaning it came from India. Origin is Indian. Now, what we have there in the 5 peso is actually the fruit of a nara that is smooth. May dalawang klase. There are 2 types of fruits for nara. One is spiny. How many have seen the spiny nara fruits? Ang kita di ba? So yung una, yung nasa what we have in the 5 peso will actually be the smooth nara. Okay, next. Alright, so just to introduce, ano nga uli ang nara? Pambansang puno. Yes, ang galing niyo, pambansang puno. Okay, so have you seen the flowers of nara? How many have seen the flowers of nara? Meron nara dito sa di ba? Dito sa Quezon City, sa Manila. Okay. And what you see there in our 5 peso coin would be a portion of the leaves, and then we also have a portion of the leaves that bear the fruits. So nakita niyo? It's not actually the flowers. A portion of the leaf, and then you have the fruit. Okay, next. Yeah. Okay. This nara was declared as a national tree 1934 ako. Proclamation number 652, and it was proclaimed by the first Governor General of the Philippine Islands when we were under American rule, William Francis Murphy. And that's the whole nara that you see. The wood is said to be durable, termite resistant. So before my 80s or even earlier than 80s, we had many furnitures from nara, di ba? Buti nara. Kasi minsan, ang ginagawa yung mga premium species, yung apito, yung lawan, yung biro. Okay. So high-grade furniture, so it's used in cabinetry, musical instruments. Okay. It's actually native, or the term is indigenous in the Philippines. Then under IUCN, kanyang conservation status is endangered. Ibig sabihin, kamunti na lang yung populations. And then the new generation currency, NGC coin series, we have the coins here. Anybody, sino ang merong tayabak dyan? Asan ang tayabak? Sino pong may tayabak na dala? Ay, hindi yung in the coin. Wala? Ay, yung mga nanalo, hindi na po pwede manalo ulit. Sino may tayabak? Wala? Lumita na? Ay, ayun si Ma'am. Tingnan mo akong tayabak. Piliin ko siya ng kanyang So, tayabak. Okay, next slide, Venus. Alright. Pero hindi tayabak yung sumunod, Okay, in the 20 peso, we have now Saikipora hydrophyllacea. The common name is Nila. The other common name is Sagasa. Ito yung origin ng Maynila. Maynila, tapos the D was dropped. Maynila. Later on, the Y was dropped, naging Manila na. Wala nang gusto sabi, pupunta ako ng Maynila. Pupunta ako ng Manila. Nag-drop na yung Y. Okay. Now, this is a mangrove species. Pag mangrove, ang sabi natin, medyo swampy area. Which means to say that before, during those times, ang Maynila ay swampy area. That's why this Saikipora survived that kind of condition. Pero through time, nawala na. So, nawala na din sa Saikipora. But, doesn't mean to say nawala sa it's not anymore found in Manila, but you see this in other mangrove ecosystems in other regions. Okay, yung Psyche, the meaning of Psyche, from the word Skypos, sa English, means cup or gablay. Alam niyo gablay, yung lagayan ng wine. Okay, and then yung Cora, Pora means split, meaning to carry or to bear. Sa cup, if you take it literally, it's a cup that carries or bears something. Okay, so taken together, Saipipura means cup bearer or shield bearer. So titignan natin, what part of the plant would be similar to that? No? Ano yung cup bearer? Okay. Okay, now next, yeah. So this is nilad, and that would be the flowering stage. That is the fruiting stage, and this is actually now the fruits. Actually, yung cup bearer na sinasabi would be looking at the nature of the fruits. No? Okay, next. Yung hydrophyllostea, so yung hydro meaning water. So, means to say that Saipipura once upon a time actually could survive in an aquatic habitat. So, today, you see Saipipura not in Manila but in mangrove areas are very important component of the mangrove ecosystem. Now, it's native to the Philippines, but yung conservation status na least concern. When say least concern, hindi pa yan threatened, hindi pa yan vulnerable. So, ibig sabihin, okay pa siya. Okay, next is kapakapa. Saan ang kapakapa? Sino may dala po na ano? Sino may 10 piso na may kapakapa? Oh, sir, may kinukuha na. Nag-participate ka ba, sir? Ayan. Tingnan mo, sir, baka may ano, hindi ka pa nananalo. Okay, while sir is looking ayan, and aming promoter. So this is actually the term Medinilla. That's a genus. Okay, origin of Medinilla, it is actually named after Jose de Medinilla y Pineda, the governor of the Marianas Islands. So doon kinuha yung generic name. Okay, may explain Medinilla, Magnifica, Cocos, etc. Yung first name natin, ang tawag doon ay generic name, genus name. Yung second name, parang last name sa atin, yun ang specific epithet or specific name. So when you say Medinilla, Magnifica, that's the species name, the whole species. Now, yung Magnifica, it's a Latin term. Pag sinabing Magnifica, it's splendid, it is magnificent, it's excellent. So when you look at the plant, what is splendid and what is magnificent? Actually, the splendid part would be the flowers, no? Kaya Medinilla, Magnifica. Now, yung common name is Kapakapa. This is the first time I've heard the common name Kapakapa. First time? Okay. So, down there in Laguna, everybody would say it's Kapakapa because of these bracts. Ito yung bracts na yan. Ang tawag yan ay local name is Kapakapa. And the bracts would be colorful. If you see something like this, kasi there would be pink, there would also be red. Without the bracts, Medinilla yun, but it's not Magnifica. It's a different species, but a sister of Medinilla Magnifica. Now, other common names showing Medinilla, they call it in Java, Japanese rhododendron. They also call it pink lantern, rose tree, and love plant. But in the Philippines, it's called as kapakapa. That's a Tagalog term. Tagalog common name. Okay, next. Okay, ayun po yung buong plant. No? When you look at the flowers, siguro mga 1 meter long yan. And it's actually a shrub. In the natural habitat sa forest po, these are epiphytic. Nakakapit po yan sa mga bato. But what they did was, they can take it out from the forest and then you will see them, they can also survive in potted conditions. Nalalagay sa maluping pots and you see them in gardens and they command a good price. Okay. In Mount Makiling, from 300 to 1,400 meters above sea level, you will see Medinilla Magnifica. Okay. Why? Some would take this out of the natural habitat because of the horticultural value. Now, it's native or indigenous to the Philippines, and according to DNR Administrative Order, DAO, tawag namin dyan, is critically endangered. Okay, next natin. Yan. Sir, sino nanalo ng strong gilodon? Ay, si Sir pala. Ay, si Ma'am. Sino nanalo ng ano? Ay, si Ma'am. Ma'am, ito yung sa iyo. No, we call it strong gilodon macrobotis. Okay, yung name na strong gilodon, okay. Now, actually, itong strong gilodon macrobotis was first recorded in the Philippines by American explorers in 1841. The first, ano dito would be, we have the United States exploring expedition. And they found this in the mountain or the jungle of Mount Makiling. This is how Mount Makiling looked before. Okay. And then the plant was described. So they took this. They took the plant, took it to US, and then Asagray is a Harvard botanist, he described the plant and named it as Strongylodon macrobotis. Okay, what is the meaning of Strongylodon? Next slide. It's nothing. Strongylodon comes from two words, strongylos, meaning round. The other one is odon or odontos, meaning teeth. Okay, so saan yung teeth yan? So taken together means rounded teeth. And that rounded teeth would be seen here on the calyx. Ito po yung calyx, and that would be the petals or the corolla. So this is now the rounded tip of the calyx, the term Strongylodon. Okay, the other one, specific epithet, macrobotrys. So ano nga yung macrobotrys? Microscope, large. Botrys, referring to the, botrys is a Greek word meaning bunch or cluster. So when you look at flowers, ganyan po ang bulaklak na Strongylodon macrobotrys. Kaya macrobotrys referring to the large bunch or cluster of flowers. Next. In Laguna, we call it tayabak. But people would always say jade vine. That's another common name in English. Okay. Jade because of the blue-green to mid-green color of the flowers. Now, the natural habitat, pag nakita niyo po yan ay climber. Okay, pero it's not an epiphyte. It just loves to find something that it could hold on, but it's not attached to the tree. No? Okay? Other names, jade creeper, jade climber, emerald creeper, turquoise vine, because turquoise would mean the mid color. And that would be the fruit, kaya po ang fruit ng jade vine, and then once open, you have the seeds. And this can be propagated by seeds only. Although I think they have tried tissue culture, and it's possible to propagate by tissue culture. Okay. So, ayun ang natural habitat na, andun yan sa may, so they can go from one tree to another. Take note, they are not epiphyte. They just need the trees to, so they can go from one tree to another. They need light also. But at times, yan po, at the base, ito naman po, coming from the base, okay, they can also produce flowers. Okay? And when, this is how they plant it in the UP Sierra Madre Land Nursery. They gather all the seeds, and then they have this roofing. So we have now what we call as jade vine holiday. It's actually 1 meter long of jade vine. Okay, it's indigenous to the country, but it is also endangered. Okay. Horticultural value, kaya ang dami. Makakabili po kayo ng jade vine. Saan kayo bibili ng jade vine? Tapuhan. Punta lang po kayo sa Laguna, sa PAE, next to Los Baños. We have gardens there, and you can actually buy seedlings, established seedlings of jade vine. Okay. So they use this in lane making. Okay, next natin. Ito. Alam niyo po yung katmon? Yung katmon, isang section sa elementary, sa high school. Minsan, group din ang gamit sa katmon. Okay. Ang katmon is known as Tilenia philippinensis. In other areas, sa Mindanao, the local name in Mindanao is Kwambo. Sino taga Mindanao? Ikaw? Kwambo ba tawag sa inyo? Hindi niya alam. Okay. And it's also known as Philippine elephant apple because of the fruit. The fruit later on looks like a green apple, also known as mangija, also known as caramonte. Okay. The term Tilenia, yung genus Tilenia, was named in honor of this person, si Johann Jacob Dillén. Actually, Dillén yan. Pero Latinized. He Latinized his last name, kaya naging Dillenius. No? Parang si Carolus Linnaeus, Carl von Linné. And he Latinized his name, Carolus Linnaeus. Okay. He's a German botanist, the first president of the Botanical Society of London, and at the same time also a physician. So they named this genus in honor of this person. Philippinensis, what's the meaning of Philippinensis? Came from the Philippines. Parang Indicus, it came from India. Okay, next natin. Right. Now, there are several places in the Philippines. Probably yung katmon could have been a name that was given a long time ago in certain areas in the Philippines where they saw the trees blooming. One still exists as katmon in Cebu. Now, in Iloilo, may katmon, but that katmon the town of Katmon was then replaced by Santa Barbara. Anybody from Iloilo here? So you know the Santa Barbara is actually the former Katmon. So yung CA, yung letter C later on was dropped, then we used the letter K. Okay. Okay, it's sabi natin, anything, any flower that we have on coins, banknotes, okay. Parang national identity natin. Okay, it's endemic, only found in the Philippines. And, ito na, sa mga near threatened, malapit na mawala sa mundo. Ibig sabihin yung population niya maliit. Okay, next. Alright, ito po katmon, when it is a tree, medium size, it's not as big as nara. And then that would be the flowers, then you have the young fruits. Okay? And yung fruit that looks like, have you seen green apple? Natawag mo sa Philippine elephant apple. When you open the fruits, then you have the seeds inside. Okay. So yan po yung katmon. Okay, next. Yan, sabi natin, aside from a national identity, ang katmon po, some of them are being made into jam. Sino po nakatikim ng katmon? Jam. Meron yan sa Pinagulo. Okay, masarap po yan, katmon. Okay, aside from that, pickles, pinipickles din po katmon. Urban landscaping, very nice for urban landscaping. Okay, the leaves of the bark, astringent, meron po konting medicinal value. It's also it has antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. Next natin, ayan, sino ang meron? Sino naman ang meron 5 sentimo? Meron ka ma'am? Okay. Pero si ma'am, okay. In the pipe, sa sito, we have now a flowering plant known as Hoya pubicalis. The local name is Kapang-Kapang Baging. So when say baging, it's actually a vine. The nature of this plant is actually, it is an epiphytic. It's epiphytic siya. Ito po maano talaga ito. It set out roots and then on trees, unlike jade vine. And jade vine does not set out roots. So we don't call it as epiphytic. But this is a vine, it's an epiphytic vine. Okay. Ang Hoya, the name Hoya is thing, kanina yung Sander, we cannot retain the name Sander, but in nomenclature nilalagyan ng Iana. This one, hindi pwedeng oy, kaya nilagyan ng oyan. That's actually the source of the name of the genus Oya. Pubicalix, yung specific epithet, it came from two words, pubes, pubes meaning lovely and hairy, and then calyx is the setup. So, ito yung flowers, then you have the leaves. This is still in natural habitat. And then, I don't know, ba nakikita nyo? This is now the calyx. Ito po yung calyx. This portion is actually hairy, kaya pubic calyx. Kita nyo ba? Kung parang may mga okay. Okay, next. Alright. This Hoya pubicalyx has three color forms. Ito yung dark, and then they have the pink, and this one is the brown. All of these would be three forms of Hoya pubicalyx. And this is very common. Nakakabili po kayo ng kahit saan. Again, sa Laguna, marami po yan. Right? So, it's endemic to the Philippines. And it's found in the point, so it's a symbol of what we call as a national identity. Next slide. Ito naman yan. Isa lang. Nasa 1 centimo. Hindi ko lang yung 1 centimo dito. Pinatapo na kasi pag nakakita ng 1 centimo. Sino may 1 centimo? Wala po? Sayang. May gift pa naman kami. Gumamapit na lang kayo ng 1 centimo. Okay. What we have in 1 centimo is Mangkono. Mangkono is a local name. And species name is Santos Timon Bertugonianus. Other local names would be Tigas, and the other ones Philippine Everwood. Okay. Let's look at the meaning of Santos Timon. Santos meaning yellow. Stimon, brick or stamen or thread. Okay. So balik tayo. Kayo ay elementary. Pinagdala kayo ng bulaklak. Ano ba bulaklak ang ginadala? Elementary. Ano pa ba rin talaga ng teacher? Ay, gumamela. Okay, talaga. Gumamela. Okay, so you know in gumamela, it has many stamens. Ito po yung many stamens. Kaya yung stimon, yung stamens. Yung Santos, yellow. Now, this is the close-up of the statement. Yan. Sa totoong buhay, kulay yellow po yan. So, that's the meaning of Santos Timon. Now, yung specific epithet, Bertugonianus, it means in English, hangman or executioner. Pag sinabing hangman or executioner, kung nakagay ng tao, murderer, parang gano'n, di ba? Executioner. Pero actually, ano yan eh, analogy because in the next slide, this is now the mood of Santos Timon. Okay. Di ko pwedeng ano yan, mahirap po yan ilabas sa forest. Even your bolo would come from Batangas, mahirap po. Requires a diamond cutter to cut the wood. Kaya yung term na tigas, Philippine iron wood. Okay. Now, it is a very important species in an ultramafic forest. Ultramafic forest na lang po makikita yan. Ay, wala pang ultramafic forest dito na malapit sa Quezon City o sa Manila. Now, it's native to Philippines and at the same time vulnerable. Sabi vulnerable may conservation status na ano na, parang malapit-lapit na, no? May tendency. Kung ang population natin becomes threatened. Okay, next. Yan. Tignan natin yung mga polymorph banknote series. Okay, so meron dyan na 1,000 pesos. Papakita nyo na. Anybody?
1,000
pesos.
Ito po.
Ito po,
ito.
Ayun. Okay, 1,000 pesos. What you have is ano yung bulaklak po?
Ay, ano ba yung bulaklak?
Yes. Sampagita. It's Hasmino Sambat. Next slide. What is the meaning of Hasmino? Okay, Hasmino It comes from the Latinized form of the Persian word. The Persian word is Yasmin. Ang ginagawa, pag Latinize, it becomes J, no? So you can actually pronounce it Jasmine, you can actually pronounce it as Jasmine. And the meaning of Jasmine is fragrant. Alright, yung samba, it comes from the medieval Arabic term samba, which means jasmine flower. So ibig sabihin, it's also fragrant. And it is known in the Philippines as sampalita. It's also known by an English common name Arabian jasmine. Sa Indonesia, the name is Melati Putih, and this is also their national flower. So we share this with Indonesia as a national flower. Eh, alam niyo naman yung ang alamat ng sampalita came from the word sumpakita. I promise. Okay, so huwag na natin inanarin. Nakabuti tayo ng bukas. Okay, next slide. Dahil naman, natin. It was the national flower of the Philippines declared together with ano yung isa? Nara. 1934 by Governor General Frank American. Okay, so American. Now, when you look at jasmine samba, hindi yan actually native to the Philippines, but it has been here for so many decades. That's why tinatawag namin na indigenized na siya. Okay, now before, San Pedro Laguna is Sampalitang capital of the Philippines, but I think most of those plantations have been converted to subdivisions. So we see some of these Pila Laguna, may nagtatanong naman sa Pila Laguna. And sabi natin, hindi talaga siya. It's cultivated and it's indigenized or naturalized in the Philippines. Okay, it's a symbol of protect, purity, simplicity, humility, and resilience. So, dalawa na yan, di ba? Sa graduation, tsaka sa funeral, di ba? Okay, next. Alright. Sino may 500 pesos? Tingnan nyo naman. Meron ba tayong pang-gift? Isa na lang? Sino may 500 pesos dyan? Okay. Ay, okay, pwede natin 500 isang orchid. Kung tinignan niya, no? Malikta niya ang orchid, isang orchid. 500, ayun na si ate. 500. Pwede natin isang orchid. And this orchid is known as Acanthopippium mantineanum. Okay, let's look at the etymology. Maybe spin ang Acanthopippium. Two Greek words. Acanthe meaning spiny. Epipyon meaning saddle. So, if you describe this Acanthopippium, it is the saddle-like labellum. This is actually the leaf or labellum of the orchid. Okay, the next slide. Yan. Ito yung tinawag na leaf or labellum, and it looks like a saddle. Ano yung saddle? Hindi nalagay sa kabayo, tapos yung saddle-like. And then Mantineanum is named in honor of Georges Mantin. Again, we don't say Mantin. Following the rules of naming, it becomes Mantineanum. Okay? The other name, actually, if you ask the locals, sasabihin mo nila orchid. But in some taxonomy books, they call it Mantin's Acanthopippium, coming from the last name of Georges. Okay, next. Ayan, ito na. So ito, you see orchids are epiphytes, but it's not epiphyte. Sa lupa lang po ito, and you can see the flowers arising from the base of this sugar bowl. The flowers, when you look at the flowers, is fern shape. Alam natin yung fern, ano? Yung gano'n na naman, fern shape. Well, it's native to the Philippines, and at the same time, conservation status is threatened. Next slide. Ayan, 100 pesos. Sino may 100 pesos? Tingnan nyo. If you have your 100 pesos, it's another orchid. Orchid din po yan. Serratus Saffron Fesculi. Ito po yan. Okay, the meaning of Serratus Saffron, from the Greek words serato, kerato, meaning horn, central of people meaning bag, what's a bag or spur. Okay, ano po yan? That's the flower. This is now the spur. Okay. Lateral view, this is now the spur here. Of course, that's the meaning of Ferratocephala. Actually, next slide. Snake Albert Hans Bessel, si German orchid collector. I cannot find his image in the internet because I think this person is still alive. And he's one of the authors of a selection of native Philippine orchids. So it's named after Hans Bessel. So ito na nila bilang special Ceratocephala. It's actually very, very small. 1/4 to 4/8 inch. Yan po ang minimum. Wala din tama. Next. Yan po. It's native. Indigenous. And ang po ito, the range ng distribution ay Luzon. Sa Luzon, Nueva Vizcaya, and then one in Negros. Very limited distribution. So this makes it as critically endangered. It is not expanded its distribution for its lifetime. So it's actually a rare orchid. So yung nakikita nyo, ayun lang, so that's actually a portion of that power. Okay? Next natin, right, so may sequential dyan. So sequential would be, ayan, is. Okay, what you have in your 50 pesos note would be Vidal Salutan. Vidal Salutan. Species Hibiscus campylocydon in the beginning of, next slide. The hibiscus comes from the Greek, ancient Greek word hibiscus. That the Spurides refer to the marshmallow plant. The marshmallow plant. Altea officinalis. But later on, this hibiscus was passed into Latin, naging hibiscum or hibiscus. Pero yung common name na marshmallow was retained. Okay, next. Campylocydon, meaning ng campylocydon, Greek words, campylos, curve or bell. Cydon, tube or pipe. So we see ito na tube or pipe. Now, that is a portion of the flowering habit. This is now this is the side view of the flower, and this is now the when you look at the flower, it looks like what? Lumamela. Kasi po, magkaputi. Ang puti na lumamela. Hibiscus sinensis, hibiscus campylocydon. Parehas yung tatay. Iba yung nanay. Diba? Now, yung birth of the tube or pipe will be living at the period view. Ito po yung mga tawag na period view. Okay. Nalagyan natin makikita yung curved portion niya. Okay. Next. The common name is Vidal Salutan. Let's trace. Bakit Vidal Salutan? Because that was named after Sebastian Vidal, the first Spanish forester and botanist here in the Philippines during the Spanish era. Kasi Vidal yan, Sebastian Vidal. And he used to be the director of Mehan Garden. Yung Mehan Garden, yung Manila Garden, Botanic Garden of Manila. Then, wala na siya. He used to stay here, yung mga panahon ng Spaniards, pagkatapos na wala na siya. And then, lanutan comes from the word lanot. In Tagalog, it means earthquakes. So, let's see. This lanutan now refers to that's the fruit. And when the fruit opens, it releases seeds. And in the seeds, you have hairs, kaya lanutan. Without lanutan. So that's the etymology of the species of local. Okay, next. Ayan po, it's a tall tree. The bark is used for making rope. In some places, it provides shade as well as windbreak. Pag windbreak, naman. Pag malakas yung hangin, sasandali lang. It's endemic to the Philippines and at the same time, marami na dito, those that we have in our coins and bank notes are usually threatened, vulnerable. Least concern lang yung isa. Ano yung least concern natin?
Sa palitan. Ay,
Ano yung least concern? Sige. Ano yung least concern? Okay, next.
Manila.
Okay, this is the end. Okay, ito. But please, you may want to follow the UPLB Museum of Natural History. Ayan po yung Facebook page. And then, kami naman po, the museum has 5 sections. May entom, may birds, meron kami sa fungi. So you can come and visit us. And we're actually inviting you to come and celebrate with us in our 50th anniversary, September 29 to 30. Libre po. Okay, meron po tanong? Any question po?
Wala po.
Bababa niyo po